It was just so impressive how many people from so many different parts of the world came together to fight for women's rights and reproductive rights, and
They're coming back.
I felt really empowered. I felt inspired and hopeful for the future. Like that was just the first step of many to come, and it was wonderful. Probably I saw a few signs that said only dicks are afraid of powerful chicks, and so I'd probably make a sign that said something along those lines.
That's good.
Yeah, it was just, I was blown away by um, the power that was there and just how everyone was speaking out against Trump and just misogynistic men, and it was, so I feel very hopeful for the future.
Mm. And so you're self-engaging in?
I think I will definitely engage in more marches because those seem to be uh, grabbing people's attention the most, and especially like this weekend with all the marches against Trump's immigration law, and just I loved the experience that I had in Montpelier, and so I'd love to keep doing things like that.
Mm. And in terms of
It was a really cool experience. It was my first protest, and it was amazing to be part of something that I guess was worldwide thing. But well, I guess so. I'm not sure how to explain it. That we have to stand up for ourselves, but we also have to remember that some people have gone through a lot more than that.
mm. So those lines, so it's
Yeah.
not me talking.
I guess that it's for like people of color and indigenous people. It's like these entitled white women are getting a little glimpse of what it's been like for them their whole lives.
Mm.
Well, it was really cool to be part of this giant mass of people that were gathering together to stand up for what they believed in, and I definitely felt like a part of all of it. That was really cool. And that was really cool. And then there are some I'm with her, and then arrows pointing all around, and you work for us now, and silence equals violence and stuff like that. I'm not exactly sure. Oh, I saw one. There was this big banner that said, "Will you represent everyone, LGBTQ and immigrants and Muslims and stuff like that." And I thought that was really cool, something like that. But then also incorporate climate change, because that's also a really big issue. So I think something like that would be.
Mm.
People showed up and how much it meant to everybody to be there, and also it was eye-opening in what I just talked about earlier, about how I read this one article where an indigenous woman was there, and people were like other women who were protesting for their rights were making rude and racist remarks about them. So that was also kind of eye-opening, that people are protesting for themselves, which is very good, but then they can be so ignorant of other people stories.
You mean to just kind of be in that, maybe we'd call it a heart space or something, with somebody else, where you realize that these are people who you don't come across in Vermont,
Yeah.
or in your daily, and here they are. You're standing next to them. You are marching next to them.
Yes, exactly.
So would that be like just say more of a sense of solidarity with people you wouldn't
Yeah, to be connecting with people and like working toward the same goal as people who you wouldn't in your daily life usually be around.
Mm.
Um, I'm not. I'm not completely sure. I think the first step is to always be aware of not just what I was saying earlier, like to be aware of not just what concerns and affects you directly, but also what affects people around you, and then also to be like to if there's another march locally, go to it, or um like when things happen like the immigration ban, like protest and things like that, and to always be aware and keep up with what's going on in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to be well informed.
Yeah.
And
A lot of the time, like my parents and my sister will be talking and I'll just be listening, but that's also really interesting because I'm because I'm not sure how to say it, because it's I'm gaining information, and like it's good to be able to it's also good to be able to listen to what other people have to say, so that's important. And also to be able it helps me like process things more, and like they'll mention things that I hadn't thought of and stuff like that.
I don't know, there was about like 250,000 more people than they thought were going to come, so it was super surprising that there was that amount of people coming together unexpectedly together, and the amount of kindness. I don't think I had any bad interactions. I think it was all, there was like incredible kindness and community and courage out of everybody, so that's kind of a highlight feeling, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, I'm definitely.
Some family next to us that was marching too, and they had signs that were like, thank you for supporting us and thank you for marching us. And we had a conversation, me and our group had a conversation with them, just like showing how much, telling them that we really do support them, and the people that are against their people are a minority really, and how many people came together. So we had a pretty meaningful conversation with them about just their situation and how courage and community and hope is strong still.
Pink hats.
Yeah, sea of signs, pink hats, different everything. Yeah, there was so many different cool shirts. I had a sweatshirt on that said "A woman's place is in the House and the Senate." There were all the kinds of things like that, and lots of pink hats and shirts and everything.
So how did that?
I felt kind of like we all were dedicated. We all got the same thing, all showing what we stand for with this, hat. Like, it was something that was pretty powerful to see everybody coming together with the same thoughts and feelings, and showing that they have that with something like a clothing item. So yeah, it was pretty cool to see all that. You can't comb over sexism, which I thought was funny, and because Donald Trump kind of combs over his hair. Also, let's think. I don't know. There was lots of really. There's moving ones and there's funny ones. I don't know. There's lots of references to Star Wars and the Hamilton musical. Like immigrants, we get the job done. This is not a moment, it's a movement. Stuff like that. That are references to pop culture that people are using for a movement and a moment like this. So, just kind of that hope is still alive. No, like nothing is really changed. There's still so many people that are passionate about what they believe in, and me and my small state and classroom aren't alone in kind of not
agreeing with our new president. It was pretty. I was left with lots of energy and hope and excitement for what's to come, and that it's not, nothing is one thing. You know, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's like,
Well, how would
Yeah.
you like to?
kind of just getting involved in everything you can possibly. Like, if there's any other march in the future or anything of that kind of sort, you really, every little bit helps showing support for what you believe. And so I feel energized to be part of more of my own community, not just community with politics, but, you know, kind of being involved in our great town we have, and seeing always, I don't know, like, kind of just the feeling that there's so much more I could do, like, I'm not done, and I just getting as involved as possible. I don't know.
We both went to the Washington March, and for me, seeing all these people turning up to march for their rights and a change after the recent election was really, really powerful.
Yeah, there were so many people who were so passionate about what they believe in, and it was really cool how many people showed up. And it was, it was a lot more than I thought. And I thought people were so, like, peaceful, though, too. It was, like, a really good feeling that everyone had, and they were, like, just honestly not liking, like, what was happening, so they were really into, like, peace and, like, welcoming people, and instead of, like, hating what was currently happening.
The most about hearing him speak or talking to him?
That he was willing to come out and just kind of hang out with his fellow Vermonters, and it wasn't like all serious. He was hugging people, he was just being friendly, and that it was such a nice community of Vermonters that had come together, and he was there to represent, and that was really powerful.
Well, I was on the train coming to Washington. I interviewed like 7 people, and I could have gotten so much more. Almost everyone on the train was going to the Washington March. So there was so much positive energy, and because everyone was going to the same thing, and there were a couple interviews in particular that, like, the people got, like, choked up, and they were so passionate, and it really struck me how they were yelling, like, bad things, and so it didn't seem dangerous to me. It seemed like we were just all together and, like, protesting for good things, not against bad things.
So what those being?
There was like, show me what democracy looks like, or this is what democracy looks like, and then stuff like, we are the popular vote, or we are powerful women, or no hate, no fear, Donald Trump isn't welcome here.
Or love, not hate, makes America great, or things like that.
Yeah.
So did you both take signs?
The signs?
Your sign said.
Okay, well, my sign had 2 sides. One side said, girl power, just you wait. And the other side said, Dumbledore would never have let this happen.
There was this one that stood out for me that was about women in general, and it was talking about, like, it had numbers about how, like, 25% of women in Africa, their first time having sex is being raped, and all this stuff that when you put numbers to it, made me think it was really powerful because you could see exactly how much it was. I don't remember the rest of the sign, but I remember that part. And
A shirt or a sign?
yeah, I had a shirt that was a Vermont state that said, "Little state won't stand for hate," which I wore. Me,
Yeah.
it made me inspired to go back to my community and do something to make a change. And it made me feel powerful and encouraged and kind of safer and more at ease about what was going to come because I knew that there were so many people that thought the same thing as me. It made me feel empathetic, that I could be, made me see other people's situations except for mine. And it opened up my eyes to how other people are also struggling and how I'm not struggling as much, in my opinion, but that everyone's could be struggling and what it felt like for other people as well. So empathy was a big thing for me.
Yeah, I also felt grateful even though we were protesting against something. I still felt grateful, like, that we're not, like, one of those immigrants who's been waiting for years to come to this country and then now can't, or, like, yeah.
Okay.
Me and my family talked a lot about a next step and how this was an eye-opening experience and what we could do to get involved to make a change happen, because we know all these people are frustrated and angry, and so how can we transfer that passion and anger into something positive that could really help out in our community and in Vermont and the country.
Some people were glad that they, like, stood up, or, like, I know I felt like I had really done something, and so I felt good about that.
You go to?
I went to the march in Brattleboro. It was more of a sisters vigil because we didn't actually march anywhere.
So, just
See, but everyone was wearing something pink, and we all had our signs, and we were facing the center of the park. And then someone just started singing a song, and everyone else sort of caught on. I mean, at least the older people knew these songs from the 60s when the civil rights movement was happening. So it was interesting how we were using the songs from the civil rights movement and carrying it over to what happens today. Well, there were a lot of people I know because just like it was a lot the usual suspects. And so I didn't really end up talking with people I didn't know. It actually, if you look at, there was a website where you could sign up and 40 people said that they would come, but there were over 100 people at the gathering. That was pretty cool to see. But it was interesting. Mostly I just watched the expression on the people's faces as they began singing, like especially the older people, because they were thinking back to the civil rights movement, or it looked like it was really moving, especially for the older people.
So tell me a little bit more about the feelings.
They felt so unified singing these songs that they knew, and that really meant a lot to them. And it was amazing for them, I think, to see the younger generation catching on and growing up and learning about the troubles of the world and standing up as well and following in their footsteps.
Mm.
Fun, unity of spirit. I really liked that I was with a lot of people who agreed with me. I knew I wasn't alone.
Mm.
Donate, and it was so nice to see that I'm not the only one who cares and that everyone is going to stand up, or a lot of people are going to stand up for what they think is right. For example, I stood up for the Syrian refugees by setting out the box because I thought that was right. And that, well, I'm just interested in anything that can help people in general, really. Helping my community, helping this greater world, helping people who deserve to be helped is really my goal. So, however I can engage myself in that is really what I'd like to do. I mean, the Syrian refugee crisis.
Well, it was really cool, and it was just, I'm going to remember this for the rest of my life, and it was really cool seeing all those people and a lot more people than I was expecting, and I think most people were expecting. And it was just a really cool experience all around, just like planning that and then being there, and now the memories. I mean, it was pretty cool. Like, I mean, I was like stand still for like 2 hours, and by the end, the people around me, we were, we had talked a lot and we're friends, and we just got to know each other, and that's pretty cool.
So
It was just cool seeing like there are so many people with different religions, races, and ages, and yeah, so that was cool.
Hmm.
Um, hmm. Uh, I mean, I don't know if I have a favorite, but I just like seeing the different ones that everyone had, and everyone, I mean, like everyone was pretty unique, and some people, like there was this person near us that had like made a quilt, and like, yeah, so it was cool seeing, and like most, it was a quote, and it was like, I'm not free till all women or I'm unfree till all women are free. I mean, it was like a really moving experience being with all these, well, not just women, but mostly women, and like knowing that all these people there like feel the same way as you do about Trump and just women's rights in general, and so that was cool.
Mm.
I mean, it was great seeing that, and especially like, I mean, especially because like, I mean, I saw some kids that were like a lot younger than me, and it's like that's all these people are like good role models, and it's like women are sometimes seen as like they can't, fend for themselves, and so that's kind of, this whole march was kind of like proving that wrong, and just seeing all these women in power was. And I was like really happy, but then it also made me a little sad seeing that this is what it's come to, having to have these marches like with all these people, and all these people are upset about this too, and but it was overall like it was a great experience, and I was very happy that I went, and I was while I was there, it was great. Like everyone was like smiling and happy and having a good time, and I felt that way too.
Well, I went down to Montpelier, and I actually missed, and it was really incredible just to see all those people with beautiful signs that they had created, and just seeing them all together, kind of joining forces. It was just really lovely. Yeah, I mean, just seeing that much, there was just so much power there and so much kind of strength in us being together, and just kind of everyone sharing their ideas and sharing what they believe in. It felt definitely really powerful to have everyone there around me, and seeing so many girls and young girls too, just kind of everyone's part of this and we're all together. And even if our government isn't for us, we're all together and we're all for each other.
Mm.
But also just kind of everyone. There were people from everywhere, all different races, all different kind of religions, and just having all those people from different places come together, it just really felt like supportive and strong. Even if it wasn't just women, just everyone was supporting each other, and everyone was kind of just, it kind of was showing all those people support everyone. And we're really, so I saw a really little girl, maybe like 5 or 6, holding up a sign that said, my gym coach, she was holding a sign that said, my gym coach said I throw like a girl, and I said if you worked a little harder you could too. And I just really liked that one. That's just one that I remember, but yeah.
That's great. That's wonderful.
I've been thinking about ways that I could help, or ways that I could just at least voice my opinion and maybe other people's, but I haven't thought of anything yet, but I'm still thinking.
Good. Any other thoughts you'd like to share?
No.
Okay.
There were a lot of people, and there were a lot more people than I expected. So it was really hard to navigate, and looking from like above, I was really surprised to see like the swarms of people, and also it was great to know that we like shut down the city for a little bit. And most of the time I was like in a really tight crowd, though there were a few times where like we either tried to get to a more open space, or there was a point where I was sitting on the rail of some stairs, and it wasn't too crowded there, but like right next to me the crowd started, so yeah.
And so,
I mean, I didn't really think about myself. I was more thinking about other people, and because yeah, there's other people that need it more, I feel like, and I guess it's not for each individual, it's more for us as a whole. I liked one that said, men of quality respect equality, and there's another one, but I can't remember what it was. So yeah, there were some powerful signs. I think it was very historical, and it was like years later, I'm sure people are still going to be talking about this, and it's a big historical movement, so it was nice to be part of that. It felt like powerful. Keep forever and know that we can stay strong even when people are doing things that could be destructive.
perfect. Okay.
It was really cool and eye-opening. When we went, we were not expecting that many people to be at Montpelier, but once we got there, there was a lot more people, and it was amazing just to see all the people there standing together for the same cause and just working together as a community to get their voices heard. You know, about how many people are there and all standing up, and how many pink hats were there. There's a lot of pink hats.